So at the college you're going to be using a range of cables. The first one is going to be an IEC cable, which looks like this. So you have a plug on one end and then a 3-hole socket over here, and these are used for amplifiers. So here's the orange guitar amp, and you can see the IEC goes just in there, and then you plug that into the wall. It's the simplest cable, and it's just used to give things power. The next cable you're going to be using is an XLR cable, which has 2 ends. One has got 3 pins on it. This is known as a male end, and then the other one has 3 holes and a catch, and this is called the female end. So this is an XLR, and the way it plugs into the sockets and the wall and the patch bay is you slot the male end into the female end, and you should hear a nice click. And then to release it, you have to press down the catch, and then it comes straight out. Once these are coiled neatly, they go on the top row of the cable hooks. The next cable that you're going to be using is a jack, which is very different from an XLR. It's got 2 pins on either side. These are 1/4-inch pins, and they're used for every electronic instrument that we've got. So electric guitars, basses, synthesizers, keyboards, and DI boxes. These live on the bottom of the cable hooks. The next cable that you're going to use is something for headphones. So the pair of headphones that you have will look something like this, and usually headphones have a 3.5mm end, which is too small for any use in the studio, so you'll need a headphone adapter which goes neatly into the end, nice click sound, and then that's ready to go. If your headphone cable isn't long enough, the cable that you're going to be needing to use is called a headphone extension cable, which lives on the bottom right of the cable hooks, and it looks like this. So you have a stereo male jack tip, just like the jack from before. It's got a little extra black line here, and then the other end of it is female, which means you can plug your headphones into it. So this end will go into wherever you're going to get your signal from, and then the female end is where you plug your headphones into, just like this. Now what you'll notice is, just like on the XLR, the female end will have a little catch on it, so you're going to have to pull the catch back, and then that will allow you to slide it out. If you don't pull the catch back, you can cause some damage and you will lose your adapter because it's still stuck in here. So just pull it back and then you can get your adapter out. This is how you tidy up a cable. So the first thing you're going to want to do is run it through your hands. This is to get rid of any kinks, find any knots that you might have in the cable, but just so you have a nice straight cable that it's going to be easier to tidy up. So what you want to do is, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to grab it in my right hand, and I'm going to have the XLR connector pointing outwards, but just sticking out of my hand a little bit. And I'm going to reach out to about this distance here, which is around 1 meter, and then I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to spin with this hand here, and I'm going to bring it over so it creates a nice loop, and then I'm going to carry on doing that. So what I'm going to aim for is that it stays flat and stays at this diameter. So I'm always twisting the left hand and feeding it into the right hand, then the thumb on the right hand is going to come over and grab it. And every time I'm watching that this stays roughly the same size and that there are no kinks and it stays in this one dimension. So the more you do this, the more you find out the direction that the cable likes to turn. And what you can do is you can try out spinning it with the left hand in different directions. So now that I've added quite a few turns to be able to tidy this, there's a few kinks in the cable that I can just shake out. then finally, it should look something like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Velcro strap at the top. I'm going to place it in between the two connectors so the connectors hang evenly on either side. And I'm going to use the Velcro strap to secure it, and then add it to the cable hooks, and the XLRs go across the top. This is the patch bay, and it's located on the back wall of the live room. It's separated into two sections. Numbered 1 through to 16 are the inputs, and 17 through to 24 are the outputs. So if we're recording something and we want to send the signal to the recording studio, what we need to do is we need to use the male end of an XLR lead. There it is. And we need to plug that into number 1 to begin with. Now, all XLRs have got 3 pins like that, and there's a little logo on the top of Nutric, the company that makes it, and it's a nice way to remember which way to orient the cable. It's always with the logo on the top, facing the catch. So you'll hear a nice click, and that's it, it's plugged in. To remove it, you have to push the catch on the top next to the number that says push. You push it in, it will give you a click, and then you can slide it out. So that's how you use the top row, and you can use up to 16 inputs. The bottom part is the headphone outputs, so numbered to 17 through to 24, and it's how you can get your artists to hear either the click track or previously recorded material. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to plug it in, and then starting from 17, and then your next one would be 18, and so on. And to remove it, you have to remember to push the catch and then to unplug it. That's the patch bay. This is an audio interface which you might use while you're here studying with us. And it's split up into 2 sections. Over on the left hand side we have inputs, and on the right hand side we have outputs. So if we want to hear what kind of music we're making, we're just going to take our headphones with the headphone adapter and plug it in. And then we can turn our volume up with the knob that is exactly above where the headphones are. If we want to record with a microphone, then we're going to end up using an XLR connector, and we need to plug the male end into number 1 first. And what you'll do is you'll turn up the gain to the right level. If the microphone you're using requires phantom power, like a condenser, you're going to have to press in the 48 volts button. This audio interface will allow you to record 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones at a time. To unplug it, there's no catch, you just pull it out. If you're recording a guitar or a bass or a synthesizer, you can plug a jack directly into these because they're multiple inputs. So they will take a jack or an XLR. And same, there's no catch, so you can just pull it out when you're done. Just make sure you hold it firmly or you'll pull it off the table.